playing. It's a ball, fly ball. All right.
3, 2, 1. Well, guess what, guys? Donnelly and I are back in the house. Together as one.
Grizzly applause. There should be lots of applause right now. There should be tons. There should be a standing O.
There is a standing O. People can't even see. There's a standing O behind us, and they're very quiet, but it's miraculous.
They're that far away. We had that much police here keeping them back.
Yeah. Probably not. Last week, how did you do in the NFL?
I went 9-7 again.
Oh my God, you're awful.
Having a tough time here.
You are having a tough time. At least you're going above 500, but if you're playing for points, I'm not quite sure you'd be going above 500.
No, that puts me at 122.5 wins, 66.5 losses overall.
So you're doing, 75% wise.
75% wise, and the games that I don't count are all losses. So I only count wins.
All right.
So mine, there was 66.5 losses.
I don't know how that works.
Somebody's keeping track somewhere. Probably my wife.
Let's get at it then. All right. So we haven't done this in a couple weeks because I've been off. But let's start with the Thursday night game between your beloved Raiders and the Broncos, who seem to be red hot this year.
Do you want to read that for me?
And I think you like the Raiders because you love the Raiders, right?
Do you want to read that one for me?
That's the Broncos over the Raiders?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't speak those words. I can't, but that's the way I'm going to pick.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the Raiders have 9 losses this year, so I'm not quite sure they're anything to sneeze about. But Manning seems to be doing pretty well with Broncos. So you got the Broncos heading into Oakland and taking them up. All right. Let's start with the Sunday games. Right off the top, we got a 5-6 St. Louis Rams heading into Buffalo 5-7.
I got the Bills at home over the Rams.
What?
Yeah.
I think it's the first time all year you picked the Bills.
One of them. I haven't picked them very often, that's for sure. Probably only a handful of times. But to me, this is the Rams going into Buffalo. Buffalo could be ice cold.
The next 1 o'clock game sees a pretty important game, I think. It looks like the 6-6 Cowboys head into the 7-5 Bengals.
Yeah, I got the Bengals at home. Normally, I think last year I would have picked the Cowboys, but this year I got the Bengals.
And the next game is a game of epic proportions. We got the fucking we got the KC Chiefs heading into the Cleveland Browns. Now the Browns took out the Steelers a couple weeks ago,
and the Raiders last week.
So are they gonna keep this hot streak going?
Yeah, I got the Browns over the Chiefs. I think the Browns at home against the Chiefs. Definitely.
Oh, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Is it a quarterback issue?
It's a bit of everything. I think it's a bit of everything. There isn't anybody there. I mean, they got a couple of decent running backs. They have no wide receivers that are any good. They have no lines that are good. Their secondary is no good. Quarterback, I mean, there's not anything there in place to really make that team successful. And they're playing against a pretty good division. I mean, yes, the AFC West looks laughable on paper, but look what Peyton's done. The Chargers, they're having an off season. They're a good team on paper, and the Raiders have a few pieces here and there. So it's a tough division, and it's not the best division, but it's tough.
Next game, we got the Titans, who are 4-8 this year, heading into a surprisingly 8-4 Colts team. Yeah,
I got the Colts. Again, luck is doing something in Indianapolis earlier than a lot of people thought he would do. So I've got the Colts there.
And then we got the Bears heading into the Vikings. That should be a tough match because the Vikings are 5-1 at home.
Yeah, and I'm picking the Bears. I think the Bears need this win big time, as much as the Vikings probably need this win too. But I think the Bears are just a better team. It's not a long trip.
We don't know if Roethlisberger is playing in the next game, but we got the Chargers 4-8 heading into the Steelers 7-5. Big win for the Steelers last week over the Ravens.
Right, and this is an absolute must-win for the Steelers, I think, because I believe they have the Ravens again next week, if I remember correctly. So, and the Chargers just are no good this year, and they're horrible on the road. So I get the Steelers at home, with or without Ben.
Then the next 1 o'clock game is the 3-9 Eagles. Clearly Vic is not the same Vic we used to know. Heading into the 6-6 Buccaneers. And
I got the Bucs in that one. The Eagles continue to implode. I don't think that team's going anywhere. Andy Reid is just about done in Philly.
Oh wow, that's a comment and a half there. Yeah. All right, we got the Ravens, who lost obviously last week, like I just suggested, to the Steelers, heading into a team that took out the Giants last week in the Redskins.
Yeah, and that was a shocker for me. I had the Giants winning. RG3 is continuing to impress. There's a very good chance he's going to be Rookie of the Year. Probably the Rookie of the Year.
But you got Luck to contend with too.
Yeah, Luck looks good too, but there's even talk of RG3 being in on the MVP discussion this year. But I do have the... What game are we on?
Oh, we haven't talked to you about it. We got the Ravens over the
I got the Ravens. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I knew the Redskins were in there. I was thinking who they were playing. I got the Ravens in that game. Ravens over the Redskins.
Keep drinking your fucking Baileys. All right. We got the Falcons and the Panthers in the next one. You got to go with the Panthers, right?
Yeah. I got Cam Newton with 8 touch. No, I'm going with the Falcons. Matty Ice all the way. Michael Turner looks like he's back a little bit, even though he's never really been away, but he's had a couple of good weeks.
Welcome back to the NFL.
Welcome back, Michael Turner.
The hell is that? What is that?
That is Chewbacca from Star Wars. He is a Wookiee.
Jets and the Jaguars. What a great game this is going to be. It looks like Sanchez is going to start for the Jets.
Yeah. Jets. I got the Jets in this one.
Yeah.
On the road.
It's a real tough pick.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Dolphins, who are 5-7, heading into the 8-3 49ers.
I got the 49ers in this one. This one should be a cakewalk for the 49ers. Dolphins got across the country to get there. And even though the Dolphins' 5 wins on the season is not too shabby, I don't know if they'll get to 500 or not, but 49ers got to crush them. And
quickly, just talking about the 49ers again, your opinion on Smith being sat?
It's interesting to me. I kind of feel like you should not. I agree with the idea that you shouldn't lose your starting position when you have an injury. But on the other hand, there's so much money involved, and this is such a short season. If a guy can get you there and win, then I think you got to go with the hot hand. And clearly, they're going with the hot hand right now. So I'm okay with it. I don't think Smith is an elite quarterback. He's a mid-tier guy at best.
All right, next game we got the Saints, who are 5-7. Probably need this victory to keep their playoffs chances alive. But they're heading into the Giants, which would be a tough victory for any team.
Yeah, and I again, as you know, I've been all over the Saints this year, and they've done better than a lot of people predicted. They've done worse than some people predicted, myself included. I got the Giants, though. My heart says Saints, my head says Giants. See what's right.
All right. The last 4 o'clock game on Sunday will be the Cardinals, who stand with a 4-8 record, heading into a great home team, 5-0 this year, 7-5 Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and I think the Seahawks are going to remain undefeated at home this week, so I got the Seahawks over the Cardinals at home.
The Sunday night game, we got the Lions, who were really disappointing this year, 4-8, 2-4 on the road, heading into the Packers, who have been great at home, 5-1, 8-4 overall.
I got the Packers in that one, pretty much for the reasons you said. The Lions have been a little disappointing. The Packers also have been a little disappointing, but they're 8-4 compared to a 4-8, and are great at home. So that's who I got in that one for sure. It's Packers all the way. And
finally, we got the Monday night game, which I think probably looks like the game of the week. I would say we got this 11-1 Texans, who are 6-0 on the road, heading in to the New England Patriots, 9-3 overall, 4-1 at home.
And that's crazy. They're 6-0 on the road. So their only loss is at home this year for the Texans. But I have the Patriots winning that one. I don't know that you go into New England and beat them this late in the season. That team's starting to click. Even though Edelman was put on the IR this week. Or was it this week or last week? Anyway, he's on the IR. And he's been a pretty key component for the Patriots this season, both on the offense and the special teams. But I think the Patriots take this one. As you said, it could be the game of the week. I'm leery to say that, though, because, or wary of saying that because
the Raiders and the Broncos play.
Could be the game of the week, yes. But, quite often this type of game doesn't add up to the hype. But this one, clearly, for a Monday night game, finally, we've had a couple dud Monday night games lately. This one here looks like it could be the game of the week for sure, which would be interesting.
And as we do week to week, what is the match looking to could go either way?
Saints. I think the Saints might beat the Giants. That's the game. I got the Giants winning that one, but the Saints, there's something about that team that, like I said, if I picked my heart, I'm picking the Saints on that one. But I could see the Saints taking it under Raiders. That would be the game that I would flip-flop if I had to.
All right, and finally, guys, what I want to get on to, and Ryan doesn't know this yet, but I checked this morning, and it looks like we're in the playoffs against one another.
Yeah. Yeah, on
2-week playoff.
The OneSecondLeft.com ESPN Fantasy Football Pool. Yeah, the playoffs start this week. I was looking at that as well, because in a couple of the pools I'm at, They don't start this week. They start in 2 weeks, and there's another one I'm in that does start this week. So yeah, I looked at it, and yeah, it's number 1 ranked, which is me, against
the heavily underdog Smith.
Number 4
Smith team. Number 4, 7-5 on the year.
Yeah, and I was 11-2 on the year, I think.
I'm gonna pull out the upset. I'm gonna pull out the upset.
Here's the thing, and this is for all you folks out there who follow fantasy football, and I'm not trying to sandbag myself right away, but quite often the guy who runs out to the lead early in the season, he's got all the guys in the teams that are winning, and traditionally at this time of year is when they start resting those guys. So quite often the guy who wins the league doesn't win the championship because his players are on the top.
See that guy is coming up with his excuses already.
So this is a 2-week playoff each round.
Excuses.
So we have 2 weeks to go at it here in the OneSecondLeft.com pool, and we'll see. Interestingly enough, that the 2 guys from the website are in first round playing off against you.
Really what it means is probably I should have been making the picks all along, because once I beat him in fantasy football, then I might as well just tell you who's going to win week to week, because I will know football inside and out at that point.
Could be.
I'll just be the fantasy guru.
Then we'll go next season. We'll do picks side by side, and we'll compare.
We don't have to listen to your picks, because at that point we know you're not as good as me. So
fine then. I'll do the CFL next year.
All right, guys. Ryan's on Twitter. Ardon.
At Ardon1SecLeft.
And check us out on Facebook, Twitter,
YouTube, everywhere.
Reddit. We got lots.
We're on McDonald's billboards, I think.
That's a lie. But stay with us. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We're back at it. We're going to be doing a lot more coming up.